Hi everyone. I wanted to talk to you today about the secret sauce of goal setting. This is something that, wow, has made a huge impact on my life the last 2.5, maybe 3 years. So before that, I just want to give you a little bit of my history when it came to goal setting. So I would set goals. Maybe some of you can relate. I would set goals and they might last like 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks. And by the end of the year, I was not still doing the goal or not still doing the habit, and it just would kind of fizzle out. And I know for me, a big one was Bible reading. Like, I knew that I wanted to read to my kids. I knew that the Bible reading was so important. But because with math, people are checking on you, and with reading, people could check on you, but with Bible, you didn't really have that accountability. Hey, Jenny. Hi, Skyla. And I didn't really have that accountability. So what happened is I was doing all of the crucial things, all those urgent things first, and I was losing the important things. And so a couple years ago, I got a life coach, and she took me through a process, and we used the book. It's called The Time of Your Life by Tony Robbins. I wanted to show you the cover, and it's up too high. I couldn't reach it. But anyway, it's The Time of Your Life by Tony Robbins. Powerful, powerful stuff. And what I learned in that is when you set a goal, when you set a vision, you want to pair it with pain or pleasure, because it is emotion that actually drives us to achieve that goal. So for me, my first goal was reading the Bible regularly to my children. And it always got put aside. It wasn't happening, to be honest. It wasn't happening. And the thing that was happening was my house was staying clean. I knew that didn't matter. But for me, like, if I'm completely honest, that was an idol in my life. I love a clean house. And so I would clean, and I knew that long term that didn't matter, and I knew that the Bible did matter, but for some reason, my priorities were off. So I learned this exercise, and I challenge you guys to do this. If you set goals, it is so powerful. So if you set a goal, write down, what will your life look like in 10 years, in 20 years, if you achieve that goal? All the different things, what the character of your kids would be, what your life would look like, what kind of freedom would you have, all the different things that you'd have if you reach that goal. And then you're going to write down, what would that feel like? To have that that would feel like, it would feel like joy, it would feel like harmony, peace. And then I want you to take it a step further and write down, and literally write it down on paper. What will my life look like in 10 years or 20 years if I don't achieve this goal? If I give up when it's tough and I just stop, what will my life look like? And write that down. So maybe you have an exercise goal. And maybe that means that someday you won't be at the weight you want to be. You won't have the flexibility or the strength you want to be. And I'll tell you, for me, my life coach worked with me on a lot of different goals, but the one that I wouldn't touch for a really long time was working out. I thought that I was too busy to work out. And honestly, I really believed it. I thought, well, I homeschool 4 kids, run a business. How can I work out? Like, I just don't have time. I'm running kids here and there. And then I did this activity. And I realized that in 20 years, if I'm not working out, my kids are going to possibly, hopefully, have kids, and I'm going to have grandchildren. And what happens if they want to go hiking? What happens if they want to play ball with me and I can't do it? And I wrote down what that would feel like. And suddenly, everything changed. Guys, this is how I was before, okay? I would take a drink maybe and say, you know what, that was a good enough workout for me today, right? Lifting my cup to my mouth. Or, guys, this is the worst one. I hate to even admit it, but I would be working out, and if the TV, because I use YouTube or whatever, if it said anything like take a break, I would take a break and I'd reach in and grab a handful of chips, and then I'd be going. This is just real. So then I did this activity. And suddenly, I was able to work out. I ran on the trampoline. And every time I wanted to quit, I looked at, in my imagination, my future grandchild. And I said, I'm doing this for you because someday I want to have the endurance. I want to have the strength and the flexibility to be able to do those things that some grandparents can't do. And so that's the first thing. Again, look at what your life will be like in 10 years, in 20 years if you do complete it, what it will be like in 10 years and 20 years if you don't, and what will that feel like? Because it's those feelings that are going to drive you to accomplish it. And then I just have a second little part to this, is I have made a change in how I set goals over the last year or two. And because one of the things that I found is a lot of people are afraid to set goals. What if I don't meet them? What if I don't meet them? So then they just don't set them. I've been there. Or you might have another one where they set a goal and they work really, really hard and they don't achieve it. And then they're frustrated and they're wondering, you know, like they set these goals and they're frustrating trying to get there. So something that came to my mind is, what if instead of setting goals, we set habits? So we evaluated our goal. Maybe our goal is, I want to lose however many pounds by whenever. So maybe you work out, maybe you diet, whatever, and you get to the end of the month. Do you truly have complete control over how much weight you lose? No. But what you do have control over is what you do to get there. So changing your lifestyle. This is how many times a week I'm going to exercise. This is what I am going to eat and what I'm not going to eat. And evaluate that every so often to see if it is taking you to your goals. Maybe your goal is sales. And maybe you say, you know what, by this month I'm going to be this level. I'm going to sell this many, whatever you're selling, and I'm going to be at this level in the company. Do you truly have complete control over that? And if you're not there, are you going to be frustrated? Because frustration can cause it to quit. So if that is your goal, think about it and think about, how many people do I have to share with to reach that goal? Let's say you wanted to sell 10 of whatever, or let's say you want to sell 3 of whatever. Then you maybe have to share with 10 people. So set your goal, things that you can control, because if it's, I'm going to share with 10 people, if you fail, that was your decision to fail. But if you approach it the other way of, my goal is I have to sell 3 a month, then everyone that you're approaching, they can feel that, they can sense that they know that, you know, and suddenly you're not as powerful. You're not, you know, but when it's just about sharing something to add value to people, you're not hunting them down, you're sharing, and you're just blessing them. And you have control over how many people you talk to, so you're not getting frustrated with where your goal's taking you. So that's just something that has totally changed my vision of goals. I still look at the long term and I say, you know, at this month I would like to be here. This is what it's probably going to take. Set my habits to get me there, and then evaluate them every so often. If it's going slower than I anticipated, then you might have to ramp it up. But set habits, set lifestyle changes, and look at where it's going to take you long term with pain and with pleasure, because that is powerful, and that is going to change your life and as mine. So I will tell you, for many years I wanted to work out, and for most of my life, to be honest, wanted to work out, and it lasted for about 3 weeks every single time. And I will tell you, since I started doing this, I have now been working out for about 2.5 years. So it changes. If you have a reason why and you pair it with emotion, it's powerful, powerful stuff, guys. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys for joining me. It's a blessing to have you as friends, followers. Thank you so much. I apologize. I know people have been typing comments. I'm a little bit new to the Facebook Lives, and I get a little nervous. So I don't usually read them or read who's popping on when I do it, because it just makes me too nervous. And distracts me. So anyway, I'll read those when I get done. But thank you guys. I can't wait to see you guys achieve big things in 2017. Make it the best year of your life up until this point. Every year is going to get better. So have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.